Uh, Gray hair or no hair, I think, is required. Actually, you know, one of the reasons that women have been so successful in the judiciary when they weren't necessarily you know, they're now taking their place in the legislature in much larger numbers, but in the judiciary, I think voters in thinking about the judiciary, I think the reason they tend to, women have like a 10-point advantage in a race against a man is I think voters think, I'm betting she's going to be a little more compassionate than he's going to be. So I think in terms of what do people expect out of a judge, compassion. We all have points of view, and our life's background for every judge. So I think the other thing that's important is that you had a diversity of experiences, and I think we have that in the Ohio judiciary. I'm fascinated as I read these exit interviews of people who've been judges for a long time and are now stepping down. And some of them I've known for a very long time, and there are things in their background, things that they've done that I had no idea they had done, and I think that's really important. A very rich and diverse background of experiences before you become a judge, I think probably helps tremendously for anyone who aspires to be a good judge. Well, there's a lot of discussion about that. Probably some merit to saying that for a common pleas judge, maybe you need to be in the practice more than 6 years. I think there's probably some universal agreement that maybe ought to jump up to 10 and then a corresponding longer experience to be a Supreme Court judge. I had never been a judge, and I followed Herb Brown. It was the seat that he held. He had not been a judge. So our court has always had one or two people who came directly to the Supreme Court, never having been a judge. But I had practiced law and tried cases for 25 years as an assistant attorney general and assistant prosecutor, and I'd been chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee for a decade. So I had seen this state and its courts and its judges and the practice of law from a lot of different standpoints, and I think that's probably key for anybody, certainly who wants to come to the Supreme Court, is that they bring to the table a diverse background. And if you look at our court, it's very diverse. I mean, Sharon Kennedy is a new judge here. She was a policeman before she became a domestic relations judge. Judy French, new to our court, was an assistant attorney general, argued a case before the United States Supreme Court, was on the Court of Appeals, and was Governor Taft's legal counsel. So you know, she had worked in that side of government. And Terry O'Donnell and Judy Lanzinger, both long histories as trial judges and Court of Appeals judges before they came here. And our Chief Justice was a prosecutor, a trial judge, a lieutenant governor before she came here. So very, very diverse backgrounds. Bill O'Neill, new justice, is a nurse in addition to being a judge. So and that helps a lot to have those diverse backgrounds.